Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'll be testing out the Black Myth Wukong benchmarking tool, which is available on Steam for download for free. Black Myth Wukong does come out on the 20th of August next week, so looking forward to playing. But this game feels like it's been in development for a long time. I think it's had 1 or 2 delays, but it seems to be finally here. It's an action RPG game made by Game Science on the Unreal Engine 5, so let's hope everyone has a great experience. It's very much known for being a engine that has a lot of stutter. So game only supports windowed and borderless mode, so it's basically a borderless full screen experience. Playing at 3840 by 2160. No frame rate cap, no VSync, so maximum frame rate from this system will be shown. Motion blur is at default at strong, so I'm just going to leave it there. While playing my gameplays, I'll probably disable that, but for leaving the benchmark pretty much at its stock settings, I'm going to leave that on. The game has super resolution. Increasing super resolution can improve image clarity in certain situations, but will significantly reduce performance. Adjust with caution. So 50 is for default. I'm not going to mess with this. Probably someone smarter than me can tell you the calculations on what resolution would be if you increase this to 100, but I'm leaving it at 50 because this is an image scaler basically. TSR is the default anti-aliasing method, but the game does support FSR, XeSS, and DLSS. Note that DLSS supports frame gen as well as FSR. The game also supports full ray tracing, emphasis on the word full, which more than likely means it does ambient occlusion, shadows, reflections, and lighting, does everything rather than just like reflections or ambient occlusion. Very high is the highest, and that's what I've got it on. Cinematic is the highest preset in the game. Below that is very high, so I want to leave everything at cinematic. You're going to have a hell of a system if you want to try and run this game at native 4K with all the ray tracing on. Honestly, the only card I can see averaging over 60 is the RTX 4090. But I'll be interested to see what my 7900 XTX and RTX 3080 can do. So that is it for the in-game settings. The first time you do this, the game will prompt you to restart the game to make sure all settings have applied. I've already done this. So I'm just going to jump straight into the benchmark now and see what kind of performance I get with the RTX 4090 and Intel i9 4900KS. So far, I think the game looks pretty insane. You can see why the RTX 4090 is getting beaten down, already dipping below 60 FPS. And if the RTX 4090 can't do it, then no other GPU can pretty much lock 60 on this game. I'll be interested to see what my 7900 XTX can do. Okay guys, the results are in. As you can see, my system was able to average 65 FPS with a minimum of 45 and maximum of 77 FPS. Only used around 8.5 gigabytes of VRAM. And as you can see, all the settings are displayed here. TSR, no frame gen, very high ray tracing. And it's a very, very demanding game, let's put it that way. You're going to need a hell of a system to try to run this native. Native is not the only way to play these days. So yeah, playing this native is completely out of the question, if you want to have a good experience at least. So I'm going to go to DLSS. It doesn't actually give you a quality setting. It doesn't give you the usual DLSS settings. Maybe you have to apply first. No, it still doesn't change. So basically, maybe this governs how much percentage of upscaling is being done. So possibly needing to toggle this will adjust how much. I believe DLSS quality is 71%, 72% of the image, of the native image selected. I'm not too sure, so I'm not going to mess with this. I'm just going to leave it at 50. Also try out frame generation as well. May as well go all the way. Okay, let's see how things look and perform now. So even with DLSS and frame gen, you're only getting just over 100 frames per second. That is insane. Everything does look noticeably softer, so there is a noticeable loss in the image clarity. Everything looks a tad bit more blurry, but it still looks great, don't get me wrong. Sometimes with these kind of benchmarking tools, they don't actually give you a fair reflection on how the game will perform, so I'm still gonna go into playing the real game, not expecting these figures to be quite accurate, because they may not be, but at the same time, this gives you a good idea of what to expect. One frame spike there. It hasn't been too bad in terms of the frame spikes. Okay, results are in. 107 FPS average, 84 minimum, 128 maximum. Not too bad. Now, you can't ask me about input lag because I couldn't actually interact with the game. Funnily enough, more VRAM was used with DLSS and frame gen. Maybe it's just a frame gen thing, using 9.2 gigabytes rather than the 8.4. or possibly this game may have a memory leak. The longer you leave it on, the more you use, who knows. But that is pretty much it from me, guys. I just want to have a quick look at the Black Myth Wukong benchmarking tool, and it basically letting us know you're going to need a hell of a system to run this game. So let me know your experience in the comment sections below. I'll see you guys in the next video.